once again with the man himself, Mr. Eddie Hearn. How are you?
Pep talk in the house. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. Didn't know I could do that, did you?
All right. I'll do that normally. Joined by promoter Eddie Hearn. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. I'm very well. I hope you don't cut that bit out, by the way.
No, do you know what? All organic.
Thank you.
That's the best way.
The problem is now I'm getting to the older years of my life at 42. Everything that I do is just like a dad. Do you know what I mean? In fact, last night I come back from dinner and I do this thing. I say it's going to sound really sad. I walk up to a lamppost when I'm talking to people and I kick the lamppost, and I do it to my kids all the time. So I'm like, yeah, like that, right? And then I did it last night. We were out like with a staff dinner. They were just like, Ed, you're just a dad, aren't you? And when I done that, that was like that. It's like dancing. It's got a bit sad because I'm just not cool anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got to say one
How old are
thing.
you?
41.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm a year older than you. Yeah. You're cooler than me, though.
Do you know what? I try. My mum dresses me.
Yeah. You look cooler than me.
All right. We won't talk about the dad spots. That's another podcast.
Yeah. The dad spot's not looking great either. But on we go.
All right. It's been a very, very long day. We'll take it from the top. Josh Warrington, Mauricio Lara.
Yeah.
Big fight. Josh is looking pumped up for this one.
Massive fight. I am very nervous, but that's a good sign. That means you got a real fight, you know. And the card is unbelievable tomorrow night, and I'm just excited to go there as a fan, to be honest with you. Warrington, last time out, wasn't at the races. Mauricio Lara, by the way, only had a 4 or 5 week camp last time. This time, Mauricio Lara is full of confidence, but Josh has 20,000 fans, and he's pumped. Lara is full of confidence, thinks he's going to walk him down and knock him out. Josh thinks he's going to school him and beat him up and stop him. I've absolutely no idea what will happen. I'm gunning and pumped for a Josh Warrington victory. Fingers crossed, but whatever happens, it'll be an epic night.
Some people are kind of questioning the tactics of Josh Warrington, whether to stand toe-to-toe with him or to box him. Now, we know Lara is heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a mistake on the behalf of Josh Warrington to stand toe-to-toe with Lara?
I think the problem is Josh Warrington's greatest attributes are his engine, his punch, output. So I feel that he can't get behind the jab and just move, because Lara's going to walk him down and he's going to be winning those rounds. So Josh has to pick his spots and he has to be in with combinations and then out again. But, you know, Josh isn't a huge puncher and Lara appears to be very tough. So you're going to have to break him down round by round. But every time you're in range, Lara's going to let his hands go. And he believes that it only takes one shot and I backed him up and I can just jump on it. So Josh has got to be so switched on defensively. He mustn't be trading up with Lara. And in the first fight, that's exactly what he did. He came out, he thought, 4 rounds, let me get him out of here. Bosh, chin up in the air, copped a left hook in the first round. And to be honest with you, it wasn't over from the first round, but we were in trouble from the first round. How he got through the 4th round, I will never know. The man has got unbelievable heart. I don't want to see heart tomorrow night. He will have to show it. I want to see skill, I want to see this, but he's going to have to go through the trenches. And it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight.
Yeah. Talk of retirement if he loses, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I always think that when someone's been at a specific weight for like 25 fights or whatever it is, do you move up to super feather? He doesn't really struggle at 9 stone. So, but you know, if he got beat in a good fight, a close fight, yeah, maybe he could move to super feather. But the dream is to go and win that Ring Magazine title, to box in the US, to do all these things, you know. And I feel like he has got so much more. And with his support that he had, I mean, you saw the weigh-in today. It was ridiculous.
Crazy.
You know, I mean, some promoters don't have that many people at a show. And he's so lucky where he can go to Headingley and get 20,000 people in there. And that's coming off a loss, by the way, in a fight that he was just expected to win. So, you know, I think that he should be very proud of himself, and Lee should be very proud of him. Doesn't mean he's going to win, but he'll give it everything. He will give it everything tomorrow night.
All right, just another matter. I noticed that you were in Sheffield with the good man AJ.
Yeah.
How's he getting along?
He's doing really good. I mean, I'm very proud of AJ. I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but he's built himself into a great fighter. He's a great individual and a great person, but he's also learned and taken bits of knowledge over the years and really created a special place there in Sheffield. I mean, you know, you've got the GB team. It's just such a great place. But he's, you know, and a shout out as well to KD. You know, he's a guy who has built a great camp for him. Great sparring. Everything's so professional. It's so similar to Klitschko camp. You know, but you've got like 7 or 8 sparring partners, but they're training. They're not just sitting on their asses waiting for a call. They're training with him. They're getting in. They're doing 3 rounds. Right, bring in the next one. You know, he's taking this really seriously, and he's getting better every day. And this is the kind of fight that when he wins this fight, I want people to say you're a pound for pound great. Because if you look at the level of opposition he's faced, he don't get the credit he deserves. And if he beats Usyk, who is on the pound for pound list, albeit as a cruiserweight, you've got to give AJ the credit and say you are a pound for pound great fighter. So looking great, feeling great. 3 weeks on Saturday, was it? Yeah. And then
not long away.
Off we go, mate. Yeah. 20,000 tomorrow, 65,000 in 3 weeks. On we go.
People are talking about AJ's weight loss. I know obviously he's looking for speed against Usyk, who we know is going to do 12 rounds and can do 12 rounds. Has he dropped a bit too much physically?
Didn't look small to me. Looked fucking massive. Looked like an absolute unit, to be honest with you. I mean, his legs look huge, powerful, fast. I think that with them, it's never a case of, okay, I'm going to drop weight. Right, what am I weighing today? It's just, I'm going to train. I think the difference between the training over the years is he's gone from a guy that was lifting weights and doing a lot of powerful, explosive stuff to a guy that is boxing, you know? More sparring, more time on your feet, more time in the ring, more rounds on the pads, more rounds on the bag, and that's what's going to get you to fitness over time. Before, he was extremely explosive, but after that tank was empty, you know, how do you go those championship rounds? And you have to remember, he always got in that position before his time. You know, when he boxed Dillian and when he boxed Charles Martin, when he boxed Klitschko, he didn't really know what he was doing. He was just big and strong and tough with good attributes and good fundamentals. Now he's all-rounded. He knows, he understands the game, and that makes you so much more difficult to beat.
Last, I've got to ask you about Billy Joe Saunders, $5 million to fight Chris Eubank Jr. Interesting, isn't it? You thinking about doing that?
Yeah, I don't think the money's out of control, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a huge fight, but I'd just like to see Billy back in the ring, you know. But he's got to be happy to do it. I don't see him fighting this year, but you know, I think boxing is good for Billy Joe Saunders, and I think he's an incredible fighter. And when I had him out on the Canelo fight, he weren't phased at one point during that fight. The ring walk, the fight week, and everything. And I'd like to see him back in the ring if he's fit and healthy. He also manages some fighters, but I think he needs to get around boxing because I think it's good for him as well. And yeah, the Eubank fight, I think it's always, when a fight becomes just for money, you lose a little bit of desire sometimes, you know, as a fighter, because the only reason Billy would take that fight is for money. Because he doesn't. Well, why would he fight Eubank? He's beaten him once. He's been over. He's won a world title. He's boxed Canelo in front of 75,000 people. The only reason to fight Eubank is money, which is fine. Like, it's a tough sport. But when you're just fighting for money, when things get tough, and you know you've been paid anyway, that's when it starts to get. I always think that once you're fighting for money, you should be looking to pack it up.
Chris Eubank Jr. You mentioned the fact that there was no broken orbital bone. Billy Joe Saunders. What did you make of that comment?
I mean, if you watch boxing over the years and you're aware of injuries, you know when an orbital bone is broken. Actually, as soon as that punch landed and he got up, someone sitting next to me, he's broken his cheekbone. His eye sagged in here. There was an indent in here, and his eye was down here. That doesn't happen with a normal injury. Normally, an injury like that, it doesn't come from excessive swelling. When you see excessive swelling, actually, that is not a broken orbital bone. What a broken orbital bone is a sag in the eye, your eye drops, part of your cheek will drop. You see it with Kell Brook. You don't see this, you know, massive inflated eye when you can't see. You see an indentation in the cheek and the eye drop. And I tell you something now, if he would have carried on against a fighter like Canelo, with a fractured orbital bone or broken, which he had, I think it was 2 breaks, then, you know, it wouldn't have been pretty. But yeah, I don't think you can question the injury personally.